Rahim. I want to deal with, and I'll leave some of these notes behind, and this will explain. I'm going to explain a few things about where we're coming from, because the next before the end of this mud is out, we will officially embark on the transition period during this time. The thing about it is, just think the last period. Things are cruising along there was things happening, but this last period, the last recent period, it's been just big jumps, boom, 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 where, okay, if we plan to go back to California, and we was talking about Pennsylvania, when William Penn and his charter with the colonial, and he established Pennsylvania, and everybody moved to that area, would live under that charter, and all that type of thing, and some of the settlements in the U.S. Remember, it was only less than a year ago we was talking about when we take our travel to the West Coast, we'll stop at different places and we'll discuss things with them about moving from the city to the countryside, and actually we was carrying ourselves in the way that we were supposed to at that period. That means that was a long, not a rest period. There's no such thing. But it was a period of contemplation and thinking about solutions. That's what it was about. Okay, at the end of that period, we came to, was watching a movie about, it wasn't absolutely nothing new, about Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred. Then I was on programs with his son a little bit. His mother, Chairman Fred's mother, was pregnant. And the product of that pregnancy is her son, Chairman Fred, who's really, he's all right. But during that period, we could still talk about things. Well, we're going to go around the country, and we're going to go to black colleges, and all that stuff is true. But we're living in a different, this is a total different period than a few months ago. We always refer to as the manifestation of defects. It comes a time when all the defects that we've been talking about over the years, they manifest themselves, If we was talking about in 68, the Tet Offensive, what it did to the U.S., and the statement was, the center cannot hold. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. That was the message from, and it was 68, and they also was bragging to people, we'll be home in a minute. It's like in 51, when they was in Korea, like Chosin Reservoir. Chosin, you saw that. They was telling everybody, you're going to be home by Christmas. Now, that was November. And they put all them big turkeys and big things and took them out to feed them. That was the last meal they had. Them boy, that was it. And they fed them real good. And that night, they got overran, and it was never the same again. It was just never the same again. And to see the bodies out there piled up, and they were frozen, and you can see an arm, a leg sticking up, and they got to almost break it to get it to fit into anything. And that's the way it is right now. the, that something happens at a certain time, that it clears up all the defects, all of them finished. There it is. We've been telling everybody this all the time. The people hanging off the helicopters, the Ferdinand Marcos being told by old Reagan, well, I wish I could help, but I just, my hands is tied. That's what he told him. Carter telling the Shaw, you're an island of stability in a sea, some say, of turmoil and a sea of troubled waters. More, but that's what, just before the lid blew off, right? This is that period, but it is unbelievable because, see, living and reliving through a period is a trip. It's a trip. This period is a real live trip. You know, like to see the people, and every week we didn't talk about Vietnam and people. I mean, it's been a pillar of just passing talk, and every other mishap the U.S. had. And how the U.S. Tell you in a minute, well, I wish I could help, but, you know. And, you know, when you tell people that, hey, man, whether it's Abu Ghraib and they did this or whatever it was, and then it come to the people that, well, boss man, we was with you. Now, anybody that didn't know, for the last 3 go-rounds, not only Iran, but Iraq, hey, we'd like to help, but hey, all them poor, the soldiers from America always got their interpreters because they knew how important it was. You know what I mean? They're over there in that Iraq stuff, and they don't know. And the guys, they putting their life on the line, and half of them are recognizable because I don't care how many masks you put on, you're going to run into somebody. Shoot, that's Johnny Boy. We was in the 4th grade together. I know who that is. They ain't going to say nothing. But it's got to be, if we're Americans, right, and we keep running to this crew, that crew, pretty soon, somebody going to say, man, that's Big Hank. I already know. I know his voice. I know it. You know, I know he got a scar over here. That's Big Hank there, period. That's the way it is, and they going to know you, right? Then they grab you, then you tell on all the rest of the tattletales, you know. But the people, the poor people now are running to Iran, and, you know, I mean, see, don't worry. Iran, the benefits is rolling in for Iran. They got to cut. It don't make no difference. You know, every person they lose to this coronavirus or whatever it is, see, not to digress, and I'll get to the subject in a minute, but Iran has a special relationship with Afghanistan. During the long war with the Soviet Union, there was 5 million refugees. 2 million was in Pakistan. They were in refugee camps. They just, you know, they was in refugee camps. That was it. In Iran, when we would go to Imam, rather, the only Imam is the 8th Imam. He's buried in Iran. In fact, I used to run around what they call a harem. You know, it's got a road all around it. And I used to run a lot then. And they must have thought, now this is a crazy American. Because it had a road that go all around the harem. And I would go and just run around it a lot. Because it's right there in Masjid, you know. Anyway, So the situation that we find ourselves in is that, or that America finds itself in, is it's been totally defunctified. It is defunct, finished. You know what I mean? You ought to hear the British talking about it in the British Parliament. Everybody is, man, you blew it. America has no more prestige. If it was a final blow, it was already done for. Well, semi-done for. But in this process of devolution, we're going to see the weirdest stuff. I mean, Don, since what's the name messing up so bad, Don may come back and double, triple mess it up again. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't know if the place haven't crashed in. But you have to remember, America will be like Rome. It don't, or Britain, London, when an empire fall, everybody don't die and get buried and they start all over. The place still exists. Rome, you can drive right by the Colosseum right now. I've driven right by the Colosseum. I said, hey, there's a little piece of it at least hanging there. They had big stuff going on there a long time ago. All right? When you go to Constantinople or Turkey, when you go to Turkey and you see Hagia Sophia, that big masjid that used to be the biggest church in, what's the name? Okay. So the Ottoman Empire didn't leave, it just decreased into the Turkish state. So the United States, did you turn the, yeah, maybe just a pinch. The U.S. won't go away. Probably, I don't know, things is getting so stuff now that you don't know what. But, see, we've been here all of this time, and there's no mystery for us. Well, you could probably tell, it's never been a mystery about the direction thing is going. It was only like when and how much time do we have, And we talked about anticipation and all of that, reading and studying. So I want to go to one or 2 points, then I'll get to what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about something that is called Deen Al-Malik. Deen Al-Malik this is all in this is in the Quran, and it's dealing with a prophet who's going through certain changes. Okay, so of course it's about Yusuf, and Yusuf wants to keep his brother with him, his real full-blooded brother, And he couldn't, there was hardly no justification for him keeping him, his brother. Let me regress a little bit. You notice the Quran, it's always it don't use the word Pharaoh for this person. It's always referred to as the king. Now, Maulana Maududi, well, right or wrong, he talks about after the period of Musa alayhi salam and after the period of Yusuf and the great work he done in rescuing the people and everything, that Yahud, his people, see, the king, I'll put it this way, the king, the reason Joseph was so well liked by the Aziz and later on the king is because they were of a similar tribe that had taken over Egypt. I'll read all that later on. That had taken over Egypt at that time. That's why it don't refer to the king as Pharaoh, right? It refers to him as the king. And that king, he, maybe they was a little lighter or what have you. They was from up there, like up near Sham, Syria. You know what they look like up that way. They're lighter, taller than the people down in Egypt at that time. In fact, at that time, the people in Egypt might have been just about as black as you can get, I mean, before the Romans came and left their people there.